Hi students. So I'd like to illustrate more functions that you will come across in Excel. So the first one that I'd like to show you is how do we create borders. So the way in which we create borders is there are two methods. So the first is the highlighting method and the next one is the drawing method. So often I find that students prefer the drawing method. However, I'd like to show you both methods and you can decide which one you prefer. So when we are going to use the highlighting method, what we will do is we'll highlight the section that we'd like to create a border around. So for example, I'd like to create a border around this. I would then first highlight it and I'll go under home, and next to underline you'll find under the font section you will find there are borders over here. If I leave my cursor on that border, it will say the bottom border. Okay, if I click on the down arrow, it gives me an entire list of different borders. So this first section is where you want to use the highlighting method, and then you will click on these borders. And if you wanted to draw borders, you'd use these. Okay, so let's first look in, we're looking at the highlighting method. So I've created that, highlighting that section. And all I want to do is I want to create perhaps an outside border. Right, so I want to have a box around my information. I'll click on it. And as soon as I click on it and I click away, you'll notice I've created a border. So perhaps I'd like to create a bottom border over here, a line at the bottom. Or what I could do is I could merely just click on it and I've highlighted the box. And all I have to do now is I don't even have to go back into the list because it defaults it to the last border that I used. And the last border that I used is what? An outside border. Okay, so I can merely click on it and then I click away and there it's created a box. Now it's important to note that what you highlight. So you need to make sure that you highlight that section there if this is what you want the border to do. So you merely just click on it and then you've created the box. However, if you've highlighted it like this and you click on that box now, it will create a border as according to the highlighting the cells that you've highlighted. Okay, so if you don't want that to happen, again, our favorite button is the undo button. So you can just merely click on undo and it will say undo borders and it will undo the last action that you just did. Okay, so that's one way of getting rid of those lines. The other way is to actually go into that section and you'll notice here it says no border. So what you could have done is also you could have highlighted that section and then basically go back into border and clicked on no borders. When you click on no borders, you'll notice that that bottom border is gone. So again, you will highlight it or you could just merely click on it and you can select the bottom border. And there you have a bottom border. Okay, there's a top border, left border, and right border, and so on. So we're missing a bottom border, so I'm going to click on it, and there I've created a bottom border. So that's using the highlighting method. If we wanted to use the drawing method, we merely click on the down arrow, we'll select draw border, and when I select draw border, you'll notice a little pencil appears. You click on the pencil and you'll move your mouse down or move your mouse across, but you'll make sure you would have kept your finger on the mouse, okay, and you lift your finger up. Once you lift your finger up, that's when you can indicate where you'd like your next border to start. So for example, I'd like my next border to start over here. So I'll make sure that I leave it over there. And now I'm going to keep my click in and I'm going to move, keeping my click in, I'm going to move my mouse down. Okay, so I'm keeping my click in and moving my mouse down and I'm lifting my finger afterwards. So I need another border over here. So I'm going to keep my click in and I'm going to drag the border and voila, there I've created my borders. If I created a border like this by mistake and I'd like to erase the border, all I'll do is I'll click on the down arrow and I will select what is called an eraser. Okay, It looks like a little cigarette, don't you think? So basically you keep your click there, and you once again will drag your mouse, keeping your click in, and lift your finger now, and voila, it's gone. Okay, to get rid of this little eraser or your little cigarette, all you do is you press the escape key on your keypad, okay, on your keyboard. So I press the escape key and there it's gone. My cursor is no longer a little eraser, but my white cross. Okay, the last thing that I'd really like to show you is let's just get rid of these borders. So what I'll do is I'll just say no border, and there we have it. Then if, for example, they wanted what is called a grid, right? Borders right across. The quick way to do this is merely to click on the down arrow, and then can you see where it says draw border? You can also use what is called draw border grid. Once you click on the draw border grid, what happens is a little pencil appears again, but this time the pencil appears with a little box or grid, right? So all you'll do is you keep your click in and voila, you've got a grid border. Okay, and to get rid of that little pencil, once again, you press the escape key and it disappears. There you have, we've now created our borders. So I'm going to fill it by clicking on the yellow fill. Okay, so bold, italic, and underline. That's quite simple in terms of it being the same, similar to the ones that we've done in Microsoft Word. So all you'll do is you'll click on My Results, and for example, if you want it to be in bold, you'll click on the bold because it's been highlighted, and if you want it to be in italics, you'll click on italic, and the italic means that it's at a slant, and then the last one is underline. And if you want it to be double underline, you'll click on double underline. Okay, so that is bold, italic, and underline. So the most important thing is, or the first rule that you must remember, if you want to apply anything or any function to a set of data, then all you have to do is make sure you highlight. So that's the rule, highlight and then apply your functions. Okay, so that's bold, italic, and underline. The next thing that I want to show is changing the font type and the size. So again, all you have to do is highlight. The rule is to highlight. Currently we're on Calibri. If I wanted to change it, I'll click on the down arrow and it gives me a whole list of different fonts. I've selected Arial Black and you'll notice how it's changed. Okay, so for today I'm going to select Arial Rounded Empty Bold. So I click on it, and once I click on it, you'll notice the entire set of information changes. If I wanted to change my size of my information, I then also click on the size and I can select a different size. Okay, so if I select 16, you'll notice that this information is hidden. So all I have to do is make sure my column widths are have been increased. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change it back to 14. Okay, let's change it back to 12. Great. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we've now done the font type and the size. Changing the fill color, it's exactly what I've been doing all along. Filling the color, it's called fill color, and you can change it to any other one that you'd like to change it to. Okay, changing the fill color. Changing the font color, if you want to click on changing the font color, basically you can change it to red, and then you'll notice the font itself has changed. Okay, so let's change it to maybe a blue, something that we can see, and there I've changed it. We've changed it to a aqua. Okay, an aqua accent 5. Okay, great. And then the last two things that I just wanted to show you is alignment of text. So if you'll notice over here, the alignment of the text is in the center, and also that it is in the center of your cell. Okay, so this is under alignment, and then just so that we can make the row wider so that you can see the difference in how the alignment all works. So if I were to highlight those 4 cells, all I'll do is I will click on the where it says top align. It means that all the information is moved to the top. Center align, it will be in the center of the cell, and bottom align. So the bottom align? Bottom align would be at the bottom. Again, this is your left align. That's your center, and that is your line to the right. Okay, so that's alignment, which we've covered now. And then the undo and redo button is exactly what we've been showing you throughout our lessons in terms of undo the formatting. So there it would have undone the formatting that we've done now. And then you'll notice it will actually say center alignment, undo center alignment, left alignment. So it's always the last action that was done. Okay, and then you also get the redo button. So if you want to redo what you actually did, you'll click on the down arrow. There you can see I want to redo my right alignment. I want to redo my formatting of cells and so on. Okay, so that is undo and redo.